Welcome back. Just in the neighborhood, thought I'd stop by. So, how's it going, everybody? This is Bodie with Bitcoin Generations, here to stir it up, excite you, get some things, get your brain thinking about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about some very important things that I think you need to do in terms of your baby steps. Okay, if you've been in Bitcoin a while, you might want to skip this one. But if you just like to have the basics sort of reinforced, then I encourage you to listen to some of the stuff that we've been talking about on this channel, but just kind of condense it all down, refine it down for the new Bitcoiners, the baby boomers, the brand new Bitcoiners, the young people, the old people, all the people who are like deer in the headlights. How do I do this? I know I need some Bitcoin, but how do I get off of zero? Because it's kind of scary at first. So yeah, so here we go. Just wanted to shout out some of the folks that are coming on in. Many times it's hard to see everybody who's watching, but I think doesn't really matter. I don't really pay attention to exactly how many people are in the chat and all of that. I try to, but pretty much I'm one of those turtles that kind of like I can stay focused on a few things, but and zero in. But yeah, multitasking during a production of a live show is yeah, it's interesting. To say the least. And all of y'all who have lots of experience doing that, if there's any in this area watching this, man, my hat is off to you, and I'll drink to that. I'm drinking my pink hydration drink. Pretty much no alcohol for me anymore. Regular life is enough for me. So yeah, let's just jump right into it because yeah, because last night I shared some stuff. I actually did go live. Yeah, I'm pretty much trying to stay with Thursdays at 2, but there's additional times when I'm going to be putting shows up, and because with me and the schedule I have, it's pretty. We drop some content when we can, and it's there's a lot of stuff happening in the space, and so there's a lot of content to drop. But trying to keep the Thursday at 2:00 time frame, keep that going. So just to kind of review, last night I dropped some content. It was about the guy Murph's life and Murph's Foundation down in El Salvador and what he's doing down there. Just if you haven't seen that, it might be interesting for you to go and take a look at. This is a guy who does things from the heart. I know he's really helping a lot of people. I mean, you're talking like the kind of people he's helping are people with special needs, people who are in need. These are native El Salvadorans, and even trafficked, people who've been trafficked. Young ladies and stuff, and just he's got a team working with him down there, and it's just it's a noble pursuit. And I just I like highlighting stuff like that when I see somebody's coming along and doing some of the kind of work that I've done in the past. Not that kind of work, but other kind of work with special needs people, and it's really refreshing, and it's great to see. It's great to see people doing good in the world, and more of the greed is kind of like reducing the the signal on the people that are doing really good things. So that is a shout out to him, Murph's Life, and their foundation down there. They're building a farm right next to it's not just a farm, it's an eco village, kind of some agritourism kind of things. They're also going to have some Airbnb kind of situations where they're going to have these people who live there, and they're going to live downstairs, and then they have like an Airbnb on the second floor, so that people can, tourists or whatever, you can go down there and chill out, relax, do what you're going to do down there, and you have a place to stay. But in between these people who are natives there, they're going to be able to have a little business where they get paid to clean and maintain the little house there. So kind of an interesting model, and it piqued my interest because of the connection that I have with people with special needs as well. So, I think that's kind of an interesting model. That's something I've been thinking a lot about, and kind of like, hmm, how to create housing for people who have special needs. Specifically, I'm referring to like people in my family. How is that going to happen? Because like, look at me. I've got I'm long in the tooth and long in the beard, and I'm not exactly a spring chicken anymore. So, you got to think about these things, as well as how to stack your Bitcoin for future generations. So moving on, I guess I would just kind of jump into today's topic here with baby steps, and what do you need to do first? Well, I'm going to take this from the perspective of um, let's just take a hypothetical person that, let's say, they call me and they ask me, Bodie, I don't know how to do any Bitcoin. I am scared I'm going to do it wrong. I've got some money, and I don't know how much I'm going to really willing to put into this yet, but I do have some money and I don't like where it's at. It needs to go somewhere. It needs to find a better place to be. But I need to kind of like walk before I run. And I mean, it might even need to crawl before I walk. And so, okay, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely, 100%. You got to get off of like where you are, zero, and you need to like get engaged here, right? So how do you do that? Well, the first kind of thing you want to do is you're not going to be what I'll tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to go out and you're going to just look up the very first exchange that comes up on your, how to buy Bitcoin, search, and you're not going to jump into that. And because what are you signing yourself into, and what kind of like transparency or lack of privacy are you stepping into when you do something like that? So yeah, so the first step would be to get a secure email. Okay, secure email, step number one. Now, what's a secure email? Well, it's funny you should ask, because I just happened to actually have looked that up on a on a platform that I like to use, and I use AI. Okay, I absolutely use AI, and I think you should too. So let's just jump right into this one right here, and let's explain that. How do you know if an email service is secure? And since it's one that I use, is Proton Mail secure? Okay. Perplexity is what I'm using here. Okay. And Perplexity says that, let's see, let's go back here. To evaluate whether an email service is secure, look for the following features and practices. Okay. That's good. Common sense. Uh, I don't know. Every time you use an AI, you have to like look at it sort of like, with a filter, like, does this sound legitimate? Is this, maybe I need to learn something here. That's great. So I've got artificial intelligence that can help teach me, but there might be some factors in here that I'm like, I don't know about that. But this looks pretty good. End-to-end encryption, encrypted storage, transport security, two-factor authentication, strong privacy policies, no tracking or minimal tracking, blah, 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 all the way down here. And usually Perplexity gives you a summary at the end. Okay. So what I like to go down here and kind of TLDR right to the conclusion. An email service is considered secure if it offers end-to-end encryption, robust privacy policies, and features that protect against unauthorized access and tracking. Proton Mail stands out as one of the most secure and privacy-focused email services available today, provided you take advantage of its encryption options and remain aware of metadata limitations. Done. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, use Proton. it's a secure email. That's step number one. All right, let's move on. And we're going to go back over here. And step number two. One of the things that I've learned about in my study of Bitcoin and learning from people who are a lot smarter than me in this space, and hats off to the people who are in Bitcoin who are like super duper smart, a lot smarter than me. I've met some great ones. I see Daniel in the chat here. Hey, Daniel, it's great to see you. Daniel is one of these guys, 100%, a lot smarter than me. Great person to use as a sounding board, as ask questions. I ask questions. Probably don't ask enough questions. So, but I have AI, so I don't have to ask Daniel, and I don't have to ask Craig and some of these other guys that I know. I'm like, they say, hey, use AI. I mean, they're using AI, so it's good. So use AI as a tool. Okay, so your next thing is going to be, you're going to want Signal. Signal is an app that you can get for your iPhone, and I'm not sure if it can be used also on Android, but I think it probably can be. Maybe anybody in the chat can like help me out with that. But I do believe the reason Signal is pretty popular is because you can use it on the iPhone platform and the iOS and the Android at the Google Play Store. Is that where you get that? I think so. So yeah, I'm confirmed here that it's Android too. Okay, thank you, Daniel. So we want to start with secure email, and then you want to get Signal, and I have Signal on my phone, and I have Signal on my laptop, and I have Signal on my desktop, and that makes it very convenient. Now, why use Signal? Okay, if we're going to use an encrypted secured email, you would want to have an encrypted and secured like a messaging platform. Okay, and it's great. It's great. It is also end-to-end encrypted, and there are let me just say it like this: there are increasing reasons why we want to have more privacy and less intrusiveness. People having the ability to kind of watch what you're doing and hack into your communications. So your comms are really important. And so this is all about, remember, this is all about stacking your Bitcoin. It's all about, saving your wealth for future generations. And you're going to be able to do that if you can follow some of these steps. Okay. We're going to keep this real simple today. So step number one, secure email. Step number two, download Signal. And might as well just bring that right up here. Yeah, I don't know if I can really do that without doxing some information on that, but I can bring it up on the App Store, I believe. So, yeah, let me try to do that. I think that'd be really helpful for everybody just to see. There we go. Slow. Yeah, no, it's not wanting to do what I wanted to do, is it? Okay. That's funny. All right. So let's try to go over here. And see if we can share that screen to. All right. I don't see that available. You know what? That doesn't surprise me. If it's Signal and it's encrypted end to end, why would they be able to share it over the internet? Wouldn't be able to share the encrypted messaging app over a YouTube video. So, Well, anyway, if you look up Signal on your app store or on your Android device, you will be able to find it. Signal. You want to download that and get that so that you can communicate, like for example, with somebody who's trying to help you. Like say for me, remember that I got a phone call and they said, "What do I do?" This is what you do. Okay, get a security email, get Signal so that we can communicate in a private manner. Okay. And that's with me or with anybody. You're going to have helping you with this. All right. Um, and also, we're going to put together a step-by-step guide to kind of help this along so that people can see it, they can understand it, and it's very simple. It's very simple. It's even the most basic person has a smartphone can do this. Okay. The third thing is going to be where after you've got your email and after you've got your secure communication, then so you can communicate in private, then you're going to want to like get a platform so that you can actually get some Bitcoin. Okay, and we call that an exchange, but there's some different ways to get to that. Um, and that's being worked out right now. I would have some recommendations on this, but I think to start with, to keep it very simple, I'm going to say, get on, again, go to your app store and download a wallet, a custodial wallet called Aqua. Okay. And again, this is for brand new. Okay. You're brand new. You want to get some Bitcoin and um, you've heard a lot of things. I'm telling you, just keep it real simple. This, you get Aqua. It's AQUA. And once you have those three things, now you're able to communicate with somebody like me who's trying to help you, and it's privacy. So, and first of all, I don't want to know how much money or anything like that. That's not necessary. You don't need to disclose anything about the amount of money or anything else. Uh, um, if it's private for you, that's your private information, and nobody should ever ask you for that. There's no need for that with Bitcoin. Okay, so you get those three things. You've got your Aqua wallet, and you've got that downloaded. Now you can let me bring mine up right here, and now you can start an account with Aqua. Okay, and this is the way. This is the way. All right, so when you bring up uh, Aqua, it will have some information on it, and I don't know if you can see that real well, but what it has is uh, it has a it has the amount of how much Bitcoin you have, which is kind of xed out. It's made so that you can't see it right now, and it has it so that it's in regular layer one Bitcoin. It has it so it's in layer two, which is Lightning. Um, and then it also has a stable coin down here, but it's only if you choose to use that. And it has some different features, and I'm not going to go into all the features about Aqua today, but I'm just trying to show you that there's some very interesting things on here. I want you to just get those three things down, okay? And then the rest of it, once you have that, then we can have a conversation. I can have a conversation with you. Daniel could have a conversation with you about uh, all kinds of wonderful things. We could get into the details of, so like on Marketplace, for example. Okay, in Marketplace, in the middle tab here, Marketplace, you can buy Bitcoin, you can swap Bitcoin. There's a BTC map that has all of the different merchants that accept Bitcoin. They also have a brand new Dolphin card that they're taking applications for. And this right here, this is one of my favorites. This is my first Bitcoin. And that is the curriculum that they teach for to learn all about Bitcoin and to learn like why and what it is and all that stuff. There's a lot of information in that, and it goes into like the Bitcoin diploma story. Okay, so yeah, there's a ton of information in there. You'll be in there for hours and hours if you go into My First Bitcoin. This is not an advertisement for that. This is we're trying to keep this real simple because we want people to get onboarded to Bitcoin, and so that's the 3 steps. That's it. Okay. Questions. All right. So review, secure email, download Signal, and get the Aqua wallet. It's an app on your phone. Why do I recommend the Aqua wallet? Because the Aqua wallet is a custodial wallet. Okay. And what does that mean? So you can, let me open this again. Oh, it already knows that I'm here and that I've verified everything. So let me log out and then log back in so I can show you. And we'll get this party started here, right there. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So it has to verify two authentication. There it is, the login code. It gives you a login code, and you get that, and then you go back over here and put it into the code access. And well, it's the part of it that's very interesting is when you first, if you want to back up, it's going to give you your 12 words, your seed phrase for Aqua Wallet. And custodial wallet means that it is a wallet where you can have custody of your Bitcoin on your wallet. Now, it's true that it's on your phone. Now, that isn't the greatest. That's not cold storage. So, but it is better than being on an exchange. Okay, maybe you have your Bitcoin on an exchange somewhere, and you don't want it on the exchange. Well, that's why you want to get a wallet like Aqua, because Aqua can take the Bitcoin. You can move the Bitcoin off of the exchange into your Aqua wallet, and you can do this by yourself. I don't recommend it by yourself at first, but you can have some help doing it. And we don't have to see everything that you're doing. We don't have to see your seed phrase. We don't have to know how much money, how much Bitcoin you have. We don't need any of that. But in order to get started with kind of helping you through something like this, that is the way to go. Okay, you want to get those things in place so that then we can have conversation about how to do the things you need to do. And if you have further questions and you have a lot more information, a lot more questions, because that's very common, we're talking probably value for value. Like you're going to receive a lot more value than just those 3 things that I mentioned. So yeah, are you going to have to pay for that? You're probably going to have to pay for that. But that's just business, and that's how people do things. People don't do things for free. But this whole idea about the step-by-step guide, the baby steps for how to what to do first with Bitcoin, it's like do those things, and then you'll be ready for the next step. That's what I'm saying. Okay, this is not a be-all end-all. You're going to be still doing baby steps after you finish doing what I've just said. Okay, but hang in there, because nobody stays nobody stays at the back of the line forever. Eventually you're going to move up, you're going to learn more, you're going to be showing people in your family, you're going to be teaching people. Hallelujah. It's a wonderful thing to be able to show people stuff in Bitcoin. I'll tell you a little story. I had a I had a my daughter um, has a boyfriend who is now asking me about Bitcoin. He's asking me about, like decentralized exchange and how to do this and how to do that. And honestly, I'm pleased. I'm very thankful that he's asking me. I've showed her some things, and I'm going to be showing him some things too. And it's a great thing to see this play out, to see this go where we're maybe earning fiat US dollars. Maybe we're earning that, but we're converting that and saving in Bitcoin. Excuse me, Bitcoin. It's a beautiful thing. Um, so let me just kind of like acknowledge some of the folks in the chat. Sorry, you guys. I've been kind of been chatting up here, um, and yeah, you got yeah, absolutely. We need to mention Noster. Noster is a great platform for communication, for sharing stuff. It's really it's an interesting concept. And for the new Bitcoiners who don't know what Noster is, it's a social media platform, but it's actually a lot more than that because it's based on a protocol. And and I would just say that, what's really cool about it, as opposed to something like, your traditional social media that you're used to, is that you can zap and you can receive zaps over Noster. Um, and for example, like the little QR code that you see right here, that's a little QR code. If you found some value in the things that we're talking about here, you want to zap some value over to that's my wallet at Strike. That's what that is right there. So that's available. You don't have to do that, but if you could like or subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. But that's what we try to do. We're going to try to front load all this with some good actionable information. That's the stuff that I use, stuff that I do, something that we want to continue to try to like pay it forward, because I've had some great people helping me. I want to help other people too, so that they can stack for their families. Okay, now let's just talk a little bit about um one of the things, the reason why I mentioned Aqua is because you can purchase Bitcoin on Aqua. Okay. Now it's not an exchange per se, but it has the ability to where if you're like brand new and you want to purchase some Bitcoin, you can. The fees, we are finding that the fees are a little bit higher than I wish they were. Okay, just is. But I would say that what we're trying to work towards is to get people off of zero. And so those 3 steps that I mentioned, you get those 3 steps in place, then you can get some Bitcoin, and then you can move it somewhere else. And now after you get those 3 steps in place, then we would come with the next steps. Okay, what are the next steps? The next steps would be something like, okay, you want to get an account at least one exchange, maybe several exchanges, depending on what your preferences are. And this is where we would be asking you questions like what is your tolerance for wanting to do business with a big, huge company, like the big one that has the blue one, or would you rather work with a company that's maybe a little bit smaller, but very, very based in the customer service and and treats people very well. Um, I would say somebody like River. Um, I would say Strike. I would say Bitcoin Well, but there's a lot of different kinds of things that go into like what you want to consider if you're going to select an exchange. See, so those are like next level questions. Okay, but remember, we don't want to drill too far down into this. We're keeping this like kindergarten level for my absolute people in their 60s, 70s, 80s who are just trying to trying to hold on. Okay. So that's what that's what this episode is really kind of like designed for. Yes. Yes. Oh, we can have much deeper conversations, and we will. And I would say Daniel is one of the guys that we're going to have the conversation with. But I will also say that keep it simple. right? Because one thing we had in the fire service when I was a paramedic, and we would always be like, okay, you know, you got to learn the skills. You got to learn how to do IVs. You got to learn how to do, airway stuff. You got to learn how to do all this stuff. Okay, when you really know something, the way that you really know if you know something is to see one first, see one done first, and then you do it, and then you teach someone else to do it. See, because that higher level of learning, or that it's kind of like the proof of work that you know something, is because it comes out of you when you're able to show someone else, and you're actually able to answer their questions, and you're able to, like, um, maybe help them in a way or two, like. And it also is also kind of a test of you, so you're not you're not being critical of them, you're just kind of like helping them along. So that's how you really know if you know something. And applying that to Bitcoin, you want to make sure that you understand the basics really well. And, like, I'm pointing at me. I need to understand the basics really well too. Do you think I remember every single step of every single thing? No. But I have to, like, remember every time I go into something in Bitcoin, I have to, like, slow down, verify addresses, double, triple check the address, because these addresses, these encrypted addresses, are pretty big. And, you can get into some trouble with getting in a hurry. Okay. You don't want to do that. Save yourself the headache. Okay. So again, for my, people, baby boomers, whoever you are out there, new Bitcoiners, you don't have to be 60 or 70 years old to be listening to this. Okay. Probably most of you aren't, but I would say get your basics down well. Understand, you know, why it is it important to have secure email, why it's important to have secure communications and text messaging. Why is it? Because, today, 2025, these messages can be read by, it's not hard to hack your phone and to look into these things. Okay. The best practice is to have secure messaging. That's why. You got an iPhone 16? Yeah. You see what it says on the wall on the at the iPhone store, where you go down in the Apple store, where you go down and buy an iPhone. Well, you can buy them all over the place, but at the Apple store, they've got, like, iPhone 16, artificial intelligence, like, you think your stuff is not being encrypted, or not being surveilled? It absolutely is. So, yeah, this isn't a doom and gloom, like freak out, freakazoid show. This is like, just use your head. Use your head. Don't don't use stuff that's not encrypted. Okay. Um, Also, remember as you kind of go into this, and one of the other benefits, one of the other beautiful things about Bitcoin, and pretty much everything in Bitcoin is like this, open source. Okay. You can verify transactions. Bitcoin software is open source. Like the Start Nine guys who do the Start Nine software, so you can run your own node, and have your own. There's a lot of different software you can put on those servers. All of that is open source. Open source software means that it is possible for people who know what they're looking at to go in and look at every line of code. Nothing is hidden. There's nothing running in the background that can steal your IP or your intellectual property, or anything else. If and no bad guys, at least I don't think, are going to be going into some open source software and being like, oh yeah, we'll just kind of add this little thing, and because there's a trail of who did that. There's a trail of who wrote what software. This is all digital stuff. So open source software is a good thing. Open source software is a very good thing. And if you haven't seen, and I'm going off on a kind of a tangent here, but I will say this: um, if you haven't seen the Superman movie, go see it. Go see it. It's fabulous, I think. Okay, I think it's fabulous. I sat there with my son and was like, ah, you know. Uh, but what was great about it was, kind of very subtly, they dropped some sort of like hints about open source. Open source this, open source that. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Um, yeah. So if you go see the movie, pick up on the open source thing because it's really kind of interesting and where they go with that whole thing. Um, so staying focused here. This is it. This is it. This is why we do what we do. Okay. It's exactly the mission is the passion, and that is to help other families, other people in Bitcoin who are interested in Bitcoin to learn the basics and so that they can stack their own selves by themselves sovereignly wherever they want in the world without permission, without censorship, and for the purpose of preserving your wealth for future generations. Okay. I mean, you hear me say this all the time on this show. You can't take it with you. But you know what? I don't want anyone else taking it from me. I mean, I already give like 50% to the government. So why is that? It's crazy. Okay. So Adam and Lori are here. Hey, y'all. Great to see you. Wonderful to have you. Uh, you know, this is we're in 36 minutes. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about that. Feel free to to hit me up if there's any questions about that. That is something, this step-by-step guide on Bitcoin basics or baby steps for Bitcoin uh, is how to what do you do first? What do you do first? You do those things. Okay, it couldn't be more simple. It's important to get the basics down and get the basics down right. So again, I'm going to review just another couple times before we go today. And I got some other things to talk about, but the step-by-step, the baby steps in that I'm talking about here. And again, these are not the advanced steps. These are for the basics. These are for the brand new people in Bitcoin who are deer in the headlights and like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. How do I do this? Okay. You know how to use a smartphone? You can do this. Okay. Get a secured email. Proton is the one that I use. You can find a better one if you want to pay for it, but Proton, I don't think you have to pay for the basic plan. Number two, you can get Signal, encrypted end-to-end messaging with Signal, the Signal app. Number three, you want to get an Aqua wallet. Okay, get Aqua wallet off of the App Store or the Android store, and this is for the question. I'm going to anticipate the questions that people are going to have. Well, why Aqua wallet and this and that? Okay, good question. And the reason why I'm selling an Aqua wallet is because that's a starting point. Okay, you can do more with the Aqua wallet, and it's secured than you can with some of the other wallets that I would have mentioned. And it also allows you, because it's a custodial wallet, you're able to have your 12 words seed phrase on there. So unless you dox yourself or you forget what those words are, you can write those down on a piece of paper. Don't take a digital photograph of it, but you can write those words down on a piece of paper and then keep that somewhere for the time being. Keep it in a safe deposit box or wherever you feel safe. Keep that because those words will, if somebody finds those words, they will have your Bitcoin. Okay, so just be careful with that. But it allows you to Aqua Wallet allows you to do that, and it also allows you to buy Bitcoin in that wallet as well. So you don't have to have more steps in this. You don't need a fourth step about going to get an exchange, at least for now. Those three steps, we're trying to keep it real simple. That's something that I'm putting together a step-by-step guide for, because we want people to be able to understand it at the most basic level, like what's important. Okay. So in a nutshell, that's what we wanted to cover today on the baby steps. Fair enough. Okay. Any questions? Do I have the steps written down? Good question. Great question. I have them written down. Yes, I do. I have my notes, and I'm going to let's see. You know what? Let me just check this real quick. I'm gonna look at something over here. See if I can find if it's written down because I put it in the show notes, I believe. Uh, no, 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 no. Let me check. Let me check. Stand by. Let me check. Okay. Okay. No, I don't have the steps written down in the show notes. I have referral links in the show notes for Aqua Wallet. I do have that referral link there, but um, uh, let me just give you the steps so you can write them down real quick. Kind of save me some time because I'm going to put these in a format that is this is brand new. This is something that I shifted on. I was doing a different kind of project on this, and I was kind of made aware today that we just need to refine it down into some real basic, just like boom, this is it. Okay, so again, uh, first step is get a secured email. Okay, if you got Proton, this is an email that you would use just for your Bitcoin. Okay, just for Bitcoin. Um, and so you don't. So the reason why you want to do something like that with a secured email just for Bitcoin is because whenever something goes to that, you know what that's for. You know that that's your Bitcoin email. And that's all that you use it for. Okay, so that's good. The second level is the Signal uh, encrypted messaging app. Okay, that's the second thing is Signal, Signal. It's the app on the App Store, and it's available on Android. And the third thing is also on the App Store or on Android is the Aqua wallet, AQUA. Those are the three steps. It's simple. You don't have to write it down, or you can write it down. I don't have it written down just right here because in my show prep today, that was something that I had in a meeting earlier today. I didn't even have a chance to put that on a slide for you, but that's going to be a time for another a prep for another day. Okay, so let me put that in the show notes, and I'll have that afterwards, and so you guys can get that. But that's a great point, Adam or Lori. I will be able to put that together and have that for next time. Yeah, and that's something that we can push out soon. So that in a sense that that is the most important thing I want you to know um, about the baby steps for today. And also, um, I was going to ask, like there's something else I've been kind of working on, and that is I've been getting ready to change up some of the background here in the studio, and I've got some different kinds of things planned, and I just wanted to kind of like shout out there is if there's anybody who's like kind of used to seeing the red plaid in the background, that might be going away at some point because what I'm working on right now. But if there's anybody that's really like, no, no, we want to see the red plaid background, then, maybe I would consider, keeping it in some form or fashion. But yeah, I don't know. I've kind of gotten used to it. I think a lot of people kind of gotten used to seeing me with it, but I think it's going to change, and I think it's going to change here in the next week or two. But as time permits, and just kind of like, yeah. So yeah, and I've got also the red plaid on the on the on the oh yeah, the what do they call that thing? Mm, it's the title slide or whatever you want to call that. Yeah. Um, but let me do something here. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna put this on here. Let me see if I can do this while we're live, just because now it's bothering me. Okay. And number 2 is Signal app. And number 3 is Aqua Wallet. All right. So there you go. There you go. We're going to bring that up here. We're going to bring that up here, and we're going to, let's see if I can share this page now. I don't know if I can. We're going to try it. We're going to try it though. We're doing it live right here on the show right now. Can we do it, folks? Is it possible? I don't know if that's possible. Look at this. I think we can do it. Oh boy, look at me. I am like really doing great now. No. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Pardon me while I choke myself out. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. So yeah, I would just say, here we are. We're just looking at, the secure email Signal app and get the Aqua wallet. And start out with that. For all you newbies, you have everybody who's got everything. Is they're past that point? Okay, this recommendation is not, the baby steps are not for you. At least these baby steps are not for you. So, yeah, yeah. Pardon me while I'm, choking here. No, but there's so many good things to know, so many good things to be watching about Bitcoin, like what's going on. And this week is supposed to be like the crypto week or something like that. I just absolutely, there's a lot of noise. This is oh yeah. So yeah, there's some other stuff. Let's you know what? I'm going to jump into this. This is something that this guy is on. He's on Cali. He's on. I'm just going to show you this real quick. Let's see. We're going to share. So I want to show that this is sending Bitcoin over the Bluetooth between BitChat Android and iPhone. All right. Both have a native Cashew eCash wallet built in. The eCash travels directly from phone to phone. The sender needs no internet, like instant and untraceable digital cash. It also says this is a work in progress. So remember, when things are in beta test versions like this, there are going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some work that's done. But those of us who've seen the birth of the internet and have been in watching high tech for a number of decades, this is something that is going to take some work. It's going to be a while before they get this figured out. Now, things are happening pretty fast on the Lightning Network, but this eCash traveling directly from phone to phone, sender needs no internet. Okay, this is very cool. This is very, very, very cool. This is the peer-to-peer network that is being built right here. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. And let's just listen to real quick. Let's see if he's got some volume on here. I don't think so. No, nothing, no volume, just money transferring. Okay. So there it is. It just 1,337 sats went from the phone on the left that would in this software that they wrote called BitChat. The phone on the left is an Android phone, and the phone on the right is an iPhone. And that is really something. Again, work in progress. It's under beta test, and I think that's going to be really, really something as we kind of get further into this what's going on today in Bitcoin. You know, they can talk about things in politics all they want, but at the end of the day, it's like, don't trust, verify. We're going to see continuing things to be built that are amazing. So I am optimistic that that we're going to see just some amazing things. It just continues to blow my mind. But in the meantime, we just need to stay humble. We need to keep, stacking however you stack. And again, reiterating the message that I had last night was, uh, earn whatever kind of dollars you can earn, because now is the time to really stack. Okay. We've seen recently, Bitcoin has gone up to 122,000, and it's popped back down a little bit, but what's keeping it from going, crazy, really crazy? And that is that, there's just, you know, there's a lot of things happening in the background that you're not seeing. Okay. These institutional adoptions, these institutional investors are buying it. These countries are buying it. They're mining it. And we get news in the United States, we've got like 29,000 coins, not 200,000 like they thought. Oh, great. US Marshal Service has to tell us this. Really? Are you kidding me? Oh, that's great news. Wonderful news. Okay. But don't worry, it's going to be an amazing year, right? Keep drinking the Kool-Aid because trust me, right? Nope, nope, nope. Sorry, can't do that. Just gonna recommend, for all y'all, just keep working hard, keep doing what you do, keep stacking, convert your US dollars into Bitcoin so you can save in Bitcoin. That was the message of excuse me, that was most of the message from last night's video. It's a great message. This is something we all need to just keep remembering. Do hard stuff, do those things. It's also going to be a great week. I was going to also mention, I've got a meeting tomorrow. Got a really neat. I've mentioned before on the show about the mining heat reuse of Bitcoin mining. And I have an interest in that because, I mean, who doesn't, and who shouldn't have an interest in it? I mean, do you have hot water at your house? Do you have like an HVAC furnace at your house? Yeah. Can you heat your house with Bitcoin mining heat? Yeah, you can. So I've had an interest in this, and just kind of like, having background as a fireman, as a contractor, I know how things are put together, and I know how to kind of take things apart. But I've always been interested in this, since I learned about Bitcoin mining, and that is how to do this. Well, after I went down to a conference and learned about some of these things about what they're doing with heat that comes off of these mining units, they're using it in all kinds of applications, and it's not commercial yet. You're not seeing it on the front lines of industry, not yet. But there's going to be so many millions of homes that are going to be incorporating this into their HVAC and mechanical, and the trades that are coming, going to be building these places. They may not even decide to do it in existing houses. They might just say, oh, we're going to refit, some of those, but all the new houses are going to be fit like this. Who knows exactly what they're going to do, but I'm really thankful for some of the guys that I met down there who've been really great to me and helpful. I've tried to be the same way. But shout out to the guys down at the space in Denver, and Tyler, Tyler Stevens and Dylan Seib, and some of those guys down there, because they've got a company, and they're putting together solutions for other businesses, and who are have something like, for example, like a greenhouse. You have a greenhouse operation, and you're paying, let's say you're paying, $5,000 a month for electricity to heat your greenhouses through the winter. Okay. Cause it's expensive. let's just say, depending on what your cost of electricity is or whatever, it may be less than that. Hopefully it's not more than that. But the idea is that with these Bitcoin mining, heaters, they can actually take the heat off of the Bitcoin mining unit, and depending on what you need, you can use air, or you can transfer that heat to water, and it can push water through hydronic tubing through the greenhouses, and you can heat the greenhouses with this hydronic uh, water that's going through these plastic tubes. And and you can do this. You can pay for the electricity for the mining unit, but when you're mining Bitcoin, you get that money back, depending on a lot of factors, and depending on how much you're using, what your electricity costs, and things like this. So I've got a meeting tomorrow with a company close to where I live, and we're going to be talking to them about these guys that I met in Denver, and we're going to be talking to these guys that I know here, and we're going to be talking about how to do this. And to me, it's exciting because this company that's local here, they are looking at actually having to purchase some new equipment to pay for the heating of their greenhouses. And they have a horror story last winter where something happened and they didn't have the heat that they needed. They almost lost a whole greenhouse full of plants. So there's there's that side of Bitcoin that a lot of people don't see, the industrial application of the heat off of this stuff, and it's a real thing. And it's exciting to me to talk to people about preserving wealth for generations. But can you imagine? Can you imagine mining at your own house? Can you imagine mining at your own business, where the money that you pay for something that you already were paying for, and now you're getting an asset in return that isn't going down? Oh, yeah, there's volatility and it goes up and down, but it goes up over time. It goes up. So if you can hang on to that, can you imagine? You can put that on your balance sheet, and what's your business going to do? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, I think. So hopefully some of that makes sense to you. Hopefully you can be excited for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. Um, and but I'm looking forward to it, but I have little expectation, just trying to stay humble, just trying to like bring some knowledge and some conviction and some willingness to do some hard work to kind of help make this happen, because this could be really good. This could be really good for this company, and it could be good for the industry, and for those guys in Denver and myself, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. Again, no expectation, but kind of excited for the opportunity. So with that, we're almost at 58 minutes. And I just want to say thanks again for tuning in. Please feel free to you can zap the speed wallet right here if you like, or you can encourage somebody to subscribe to the channel. I mean, we're like right at almost 200 subscribers. I think we got 198 subscribers, something like that. Well, we'll see. Well, I'm not worried about it, but like the channel. If you like it, great. And we're just going to keep trying to bring good information for baby boomers and new Bitcoiners. And hopefully you're getting something out of this. And hopefully I'm not talking your ear off too much. But always love the questions and the feedback. Anyway, thanks again. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay. And if I can do this without any